It appears as of Friday, June 1st, 2012, gold is off to the races, but don't be so sure. It is going to be off to the races in 2012. I noticed, But case in point, why was it off to the races on Friday, June 1st? Really because of hints about a type of QE using Operation Twist, an extension of Operation Twist. That's what really drove the market up. I know there was also some other good news for gold, talking about the Bank of International Settlements saying now it's an actual Tier 1 capital asset. But I think investors know this anyway. They don't need a BIS to tell them that. But that helped. It helped. But I think the main thing that actually pushed it up was talks about QE, Operation Twist. That is absolutely the main thing. Now, if we look back during this time, the first 2 months of the year, when gold went up from like 1522 up to, up in the upper 1700s, I think it was like 1780 or whatever around there. That was a large move, and people were talking about it. Now, even Mark Farber was talking if gold gets up to, like, and silver gets up really fast, they'll probably have a market correction in the summer. But what happened was all this was due to the expectation of QE. They're talking about it in all these financial media publications at the last fourth quarter of 2011, and it didn't really happen, but they were expecting it to happen. That's why the market was being driven up. And also this market gets driven up when people start speculating on options, triple leverage, double leverage, and that type of stuff. If they're just buying physical gold and physical ETFs, it wouldn't have driven up this much. That's how leverage works, and that's what we call leverage can cause the market to crash fast because people start jumping on all two on one side too much, and they go triple short, they go options, double short, and all this type of stuff. That helps drive the market down. Sometimes it's not. Yeah, I know there could be people that know in advance what Ben Bernanke says. I mean, I wasn't born yesterday. I know there's stuff like that that goes on, but it's not really the big rigid conspiracy that they can move this price up and down anywhere they want. But there's a lot of things going on. Very shrewd maneuvers. Now, as Ben Bernanke starts contemplating more about QE, about another beer or whatever he's doing over here, this is a parody thing. This isn't really him drinking his stuff. But it's like, if he's having a beer thinking about, what do we do about this gold is money garbage, and we have a little more QE here, isn't it going to hurt anything? I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Well, he's going to do QE. He is. And, the thing is, he can open his mouth like he did back at the end of February, and say something that can knock these markets down again temporarily. I know he's going to act. But he could actually knock these markets down temporarily a little bit more. And it may not just be him. It would be a combination of the Greek debt, the euro having more crisis with Spain and Italy and Portugal, and also those PMI, the primary manufacturing data that I saw that was coming out of China. China looks like it's definitely having a slowdown now. There's no doubt about it. It dropped a few percentage points. And even the official numbers are just barely over 50, but the HSBC numbers are 48 something, so it's actually 48 something percent, right? Which means that it's actually in a contraction, so that's pretty bad for China. So, and plus, who would you'd have to figure that was going to come about because Europe was slowing down, and what was their big customer? Europe, right? And the United States isn't really a great customer as it was before either, so you'd almost have to figure there's a slowdown going on everywhere. So the game is going to be print money. And, we did see this big jump up on this one day. Obviously, you're not going to see that going like that every day. But if Ben Bernanke solidly gets behind QE, it's going to go up. But he may not. He may not. See, what I think is that he could probably calm the markets down a little bit, just one little word out of his mouth. But, you add that in with the Greek situation and stuff like that, and the bad numbers coming out for the global manufacturing index, temporarily it could still bring the metal down a little bit further, including all the other metals, silver, platinum, gold, and base metals. But he will act. That is his personality. So when QE kicks in, you're going to see moves like this even faster, right? And that's going to make up for lost time. But also you're going to see the appreciation of the yuan, and also you're going to see the dollar probably with the get downgraded again with the U.S. debt. In other words, the U.S. debt's going to kill the dollar, and that's going to be more flight into gold. That's what pushed up gold so much back in August and September of 2011, and was when they went and changed the outlook also, besides, you know, changing it from AAA to negative outlook and things like that. So I think there's going to be more bad news coming that way too. So gold is going to do extremely well this year, not just due to Ben Bernanke, but from them downgrading U.S. debt, and also China appreciating its money. So maybe not, gold might not be off to the races just yet, but it gives you a hint of what things are coming. You know, maybe that was just like a warm-up sprint or something, what's going on today. There might be a little bit of a downturn still, but as I was stating, what really moved gold was hints of QE. Once they get on QE, the metals are going to fly, and that's why I know they're going to fly this year. They're talking about deflation. That's what gets me about these guys that talk about this garbage. They seem to miss the point on a lot of things. We're not going into deflation. We're not. This is just happening very temporarily. They're going to actually, Ben will not, he's a fighter of deflation. He's just not going to, he acts a little bit conservatively and responsibly, but he's a fighter of deflation. So he's not going to allow that to happen. We're going to have some inflation. So try to spur the economy as much as he can. So that's the way it's going to go. So these metals are going to do very well. You know, forget about the deflation scenario. That's, you know, I know they love talking about that when things are going down, but that's, I knew that's not going to happen. It's just that we're going through the last cycle, and then we're off to the races after that, after this. May not quite be the bottom yet, though. That's the thing I'm saying, too. It's, you know, in a very short term, this still might not be the bottom yet.